you joined AWS back in 2012 as the global head of financial services technology. And during that time, AWS was generating roughly about $1 billion in annual revenue. If we fast forward to today, it's surpassed 100 billion, which is a 100x growth story. That's a pretty rare journey. So can you share a little bit about both, how you and sort of AWS have evolved over that time?
Yeah, it's a journey. I remember the whole field team for AWS in a hotel room discussing about what we're going to do next. And if you know where we are in terms of field teams in the whole AWS, that can tell you one story inside that one. Yes, I joined in 2012 on the idea because back then I was a consultant in Northeast for the previous 10, 12 years. I was building data centers, infrastructure, mainly security consulting. And I was building a data center back then. And one of my friends said, have you ever heard of AWS? I said, I heard them, like they're just kids play, And then I just logged in, just looked left and right. And yes, they weren't there as today, but the idea was great. The company, what it presented, the opportunity. So I joined in 2012 without ever thinking. I said, I just made a call. The next day, they called me back. And suddenly in 2012, I was one of the first people. The title was architect, and they said, you are now our security person. I said, no, I'm not your security person. They said, financial services this. And so that took me, that was a great journey when I joined. And looking it back, we had the great idea. We always said, this business has the potential, and it still does. And what was the idea in 2012 is taking up is now the reality. It's almost $30 million. Just that was the last quarter, and $112 billion, run rate. It's a very different operation today. And I witnessed whole from 2012 to today. So,
and sort of drawing on that experience, do you see any parallels from the early days of cloud adoption to what's happening today with AI adoption within sort of the enterprise vertical specifically?
I do, and it's I think that's pretty much my story. When I'm one of the guys who started very early on this whole business, not just the cloud. Since 1995, I'm professional consultant on the field, And when I started, just accidentally, my business was building online banks, and internet banking. And everybody told me, you're a nice person. We like to talk to you, but this is not possible. This will never, ever happen. This is a kid's toy that will be, a few people will play with it, but that will not happen. Fast forward, around 2000, I was in the virtualization business. We were virtualizing servers. I heard the same story. Said, this is really nice. Some people can do in the labs or left and right, the virtualization, but this is not real. This is not secure. This will never, ever happen. The same people. And the story. And same thing with the cloud computing. Answering your main question, when I joined, all my friends, all my professional peers told me, you're leaving your current job and joining Amazon and for cloud computing. Are you sure? Because yes, maybe Netflix is doing it because they are a startup things, but your real customers will never ever do that, And for the record, back then I was doing financial services, healthcare, very regulated industries. And that wasn't even compliance and regulation didn't allow to use cloud computing. I know global banks just didn't even use the word cloud. That was using the word in presentations was not allowed. And everybody said this will never, ever happen. Look where it took us. Same story. This, I don't know what it is. People don't want to believe in the good stories. They always want to find there must be another backstory that it shouldn't be real. Same thing with the AI also took place. And we didn't have a lot of believers. Amazon is an early player in the AI, not the Gen AI is relatively new, when many people mix those two terminologies. And when the AI came in, like Amazon was we were already like the predictive analytics, like route optimization, recommendation engines, robotics. This was already an Amazon play. Like AWS teams were already very familiar with the AI technologies and things. But when it comes to the generative AI or actually seeing the results, the business results, actual results, I had the same reaction. Everyone said, "Oh, this is nice. This is like some developers or some scientists are doing really good things, but this will not happen. The compute, the data, it's not because like technically it was proven way before all the technologies. But the thing is, like nobody assumed it is happening until now, and it is now the history is repeating itself. Now we are seeing actual results. People are building applications, actual solutions addressing real business problems is happening. I'm having some sort of a deja vu where this whole industry is going.